second period, then what happens? No, you go home. Then Tuesday is third and fourth, or Tuesday will be third and fourth period, and go home. Come here Wednesday morning, and then it'll be either, you guys will obviously be in sixth, and then you'll go to seventh period, and then it'll be Wednesday, everything's done, and that's the last day of school, summertime. All right. Here we go. All right, in 31 it says refer to the figure. So what you have to do in the figure here, it's got some tick marks on it. What do those tick marks stand for? Congruent. Okay, there's four congruency theorems. There's side, 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 which is what this one is. There's three congruent sides, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, angle, side, angle. The fifth one deals with right triangles, HL, hypotenuse leg. Okay, so according to this picture, what we got to do is we just got to get the things that are in the same order as ABC. So looking at the picture here, A is in the same place in this, in reference to this triangle ABC as E is. So EDC. So ABC, because this says ABC in the same exact order as that is right here is EDC. So problem number 31 is C. 32 is a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector is a two-part word. What is the word perpendicular bisector? What comes to your mind? First word perpendicular is? Okay, first word perpendicular. It's in a right angle. They do cross, and they cross in a right angle. So when something's perpendicular, it makes a perpendicular line right there. Then this line right here is bisected. Bisected means that angle F is where? Middle. Use a math term for F. Midpoint. So it says in the diagram, KF is the perpendicular bisector of GH. Since it's a perpendicular bisector, now I have this side is congruent to this side, this angle is congruent to this angle, and this side is congruent to itself. So now, even though this is a right angle, look, even though it's a right angle, it's still a side, an angle, and a side. So it says that angle KGF is congruent to same order, KHF. Okay, G would be the same, but KHF. Look, it says these three vertices in a certain order, K, G, and then F. So I got to get it's the same thing as that order. So it's KHF. So KHF is C. So 32 is C. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, the 33 there, the three members of the sequence are shown how many dots are in the fourth. So I got 1, then I got 4, then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it goes from 1 to 4 to 9 to 16. All this is doing is a squared. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. So there'll be 16 dots. All right, 35 through the end here. It says given the angle B is congruent to angle E. Now this is where I watched you guys work on the EOCT. By the way, remember, this is not the EOCT. The EOCT was a whole semester. The final exam is the second semester. Okay? but I watched you guys. There's all this information here, but look, there's no drawing that goes with it. So what it's expecting you to do is to draw over here in this white space something that's congruent. So now I've got two triangles that are congruent, and I got ABC is congruent to DEF. It says, given that angle B, guys, put the marks in there. The angle B is congruent to angle E. The easiest way is to do one little tick mark through that, although you can do it the other way. And then C is congruent to F. So C is congruent to F. Given that information by angle, side, angle. It's two angles and the side that they make up. So B and C have, angle B and angle C have BC in common. So I somehow need to figure out that BC is congruent to EF. Again, make sure we understand that the letters just have to be in the same way. That's D. They could have put CB. Look up here. If they put CB right there, then what would you have to do over here? FE. That's another good way to ask the question. Okay? 35. If ON is 6x minus 7 and LM is 5x plus 3. You can read as well as I can. LM is a parallelogram. Why did they tell you that it was a parallelogram? You know what, though? Opposite, according to this picture, yes, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, all that stuff. But according to this problem, they're wanting to make sure you know this. So guys, I would physically put it in there. ON is 6x minus 7, and LM is 5x plus 3. So that leads me to 6x minus 7 equals 5x plus 3. And then it says, find out what y is if NM is x minus 7 and OL is 7y plus 8. Well, what you have to do in this problem is you have to figure out what x is first. So to figure out what x is, I subtract this over, I get x equals 10. Now, the first thing I have to do is I have to make sure that 10 is the correct answer. If 10 is the correct answer, what should happen when I plug it in right here and down here? Okay, watch. What's 6 times 10? 60. Minus 7? 53. So 5 times 10 plus 3? 53. So now what I just did was I made sure x equals 10 is right. So now when x equals 10 is right, I come back here and take 10 and plug it right there. 10 minus 7? 3. So now I got 7y plus 8 equals 3. So if 7y equals 3, then move that to the other side equals negative 5. So y is negative 5 sevenths. Anybody? A. So the answer is A.
I mean, like, if you look at the answer,
Yeah.
you just getting the answer of 10 would tell you because the other one's negative 10.
You see what he's saying? He logically knows that this has to be A because it's the only one that has x equals, well, this has x equals 10 also. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure here you divide correctly. You go over that way correctly. So that's good distraction. 26. Identify the property of congruence here. The property of congruence if, let's see if I can get this. What number am I on? And 36.
Yeah.
In 36, it says something's equal to itself. When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Yourself.
Your reflection. B, reflexive property of congruence. Something's off, which is not always true of a rhombus. Whoever's making that clicking noise, please stop. What is true of a rhombus? It has 4. So each diagonal is longer than at least one side. The diagonals bisect each other. Is that true? Why is that true? No, not because it's a rectangle, it's a rhombus. Parallelogram. The sum of the diagonals is less than the perimeter. The diagonals are perpendicular. 37. Look on your answer sheet right there. A. Each diagonal is longer than at least one side. If all four sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, all four sides are congruent. What's the object? Rhombus. All four angles are congruent? No. Rectangle. All four sides and all four angles. That's what makes something a square. So what was 36? B. What was 37? 38?
B.
Let's finish up here. 39 and 40. Quick statements and true. All quadrilaterals are square. Are all quadrilaterals square? No. Are all rectangles square? No. By the way, what kind of logic am I, or what kind of logic am I using right now? Which one? Deductive. Inductive, give me the key word. Patterns. Deductive is this. All parallelograms are quadrilaterals. Is that true? Are all parallelograms quadrilaterals?
Yes.
Yes. Are all quadrilaterals parallelograms? All right. I'm going to ask for something right now, and I want you to tell me what word goes with it. I want you to give me a word that tells me that, or give me something that's not true. Tell me a quadrilateral that's not a parallelogram. Okay, square, rectangle, whatever. Anything that's not necessarily parallel. Oh, wait a minute. I shouldn't say rectangle is a square and rhombus because those are parallelograms. But what I should say is something like you said, a tiger or a trapezoid. That's better. My point that I'm trying to get to is, what is that thing called that you just give me that proves something's false? Very good. Counterexample. Guys, you got to get this logic now. Day one, you walk into your geometry class next year, they're going to assume you know this. How many things have to be false for a statement to be false? How many things have to be true for something to be true? Everything. Okay, so D is parallelogram. 40. Which type of parallelogram has no parallel sides? Rectangle? Yeah, it does. Rhombus? Trapezoid? Yeah. Here's the big statement with a trapezoid. One pair is, one pair isn't. What's one pair is and one pair isn't? Parallel. Okay, so it's C, like you said, a kite. All right, that's 31 through 40. I got a question on them?